Right, here we go. 5 tips if you want to get into real estate investing, what you should really kind of pay attention to. Hey, I am Mr. Maciek. Welcome to the channel where we talk all about investing in real estate, doing side hustles, making money, and building your net worth. You like that stuff? Please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get right into it. Let me tell you about the first tip that I have. If you're getting into real estate, don't try to time the market. There's a lot of people, especially millennials. I'm hearing this quite a bit with conversations with young people where they're saying, are we overinflated? When is the market gonna crash? I'm gonna buy when the market is low. And the thing is, don't do that. You ask any old timer, myself or older, I don't know, I might be an old timer, but just ask anybody, is it worth timing the market? I think you've forgotten that this is an investment. This is not a speculative move, right? You're not buying with the hopes of it going up. An investment is something you buy and it pays you. So it's all about the numbers. Number crunch it down to the bone. Like, get your numbers right, get that spreadsheet, and then cut 30% away for mistakes that you're not allocated. Do your number crunching because the numbers do the talking when it comes to investments. And if you're gonna be a buy and hold investor for rentals like myself, I buy and I don't sell that often. I like to keep my rentals because from the get-go, they made sense with all the numbers, how much I can expect for rent, what my expenses are gonna be, what I can expect for capital expenditures and repairs and vacancy rates, and basically it only gets better over time. My monthly expenses don't go up. My mortgage is locked in for 30 years, and then I actually try to pay it off as soon as possible. So let the numbers do the talking. Do not try to time the market. And it's just like the stock market. If you consistently every week put $100 into the stock market, over 30 years, you are going to win. Doesn't matter if the market is up, doesn't matter if the market is down. Same thing with real estate. You want to get into your first investment, just get into your first investment. And then as soon as you're ready to get into your second investment because you've saved enough down payment money, get into that second investment. And then it doesn't matter if it's up or down. What matters is the numbers. So number crunch it down to the bone and know what you're getting into. If you like that tip, just please click the like button. I'd appreciate that. It only takes a second. Watch. Boom, done. All right, point number 2 is this. Put enough down payment money where it's gonna hurt. And here's what I mean. I don't mean initially where it's gonna hurt, but when times get tough, if there is a market correction, or if something crazy happens and you just wanna give up on that property, let me tell you something. What you want to do is you want to put enough down payment that you will do whatever it takes to make this investment keep going. Even when you're down in the dumps and you don't want to do it anymore, you are not going to lose your initial investment. And it's not just about your down payment money. It's also about the built-in equity that you acquired when you purchased the property. And it's also about the appreciation. So when you add up your entire equity, you are going to lose if you don't do what you have to do. Now, the reason I say this is from personal experience. Let me tell you just real quick story. In 2007 and 8 and 9, when the market crashed, I lost a few properties. Why did I lose them? Because I didn't have much money invested into them and I wasn't willing to do what I had to do. I actually had a series of unfortunate events where a lot of tenants didn't pay. I didn't know how to evict. I wasn't educated in that. They went on for months and then they stole my air conditioners. I got vandalized after I kicked them out and even flooded one of the properties deliberately. I had people threaten my life. I had people trash my properties. I had squatters in there. Why? Because I wasn't willing to do what I had to do and I didn't have enough equity in the property to go and sell to get out and actually be able to sell without doing a short sale. And I didn't have enough money in it to be lost that would make a difference. I would be okay with losing that $10,000, $20,000 that I invested. So put enough money down and get a good deal where the numbers make sense so that when things get tough, you're gonna do what you have to do to make it happen. All right, number 3, it's all about pre-qualifying your tenant. So know this, when you don't take the time ahead of time, you're gonna need to take the time later. That's all it comes down to. If you don't take the time to pre-qualify, interview, do a whole application and background check process, and check the employment history of the people, and check how much money they have in the bank and everything else, if you're not willing to do that now, you're gonna spend a lot more time later repainting, cleaning the property, evicting people, losing money, and still you have to pay the mortgage. So tip number 3 is about pre-qualifying the tenant the most you possibly can. This is very, very important, and I am still learning this lesson. Now, I have systems implemented into qualifying tenants, but sometimes a bad apple still squeezes through, and I end up having a rotted piece of fruit in one of my rentals. So do not let that happen to you. Just take more time to pre-qualify the tenants. And by the way, don't think that just because you have a property where someone rents it for $3,500 a month or something, a high number, that they don't need to be pre-qualified. All right, now that that is done, let's go to point number 4. Make sure to do a little weekly check-in. So this tip is really for the new landlords where you're just kind of learning the system and learning the ways. Pick one day out of the week where you can just dedicate 15 to 30 minutes to your property analysis. And what I mean by that is, check the money. Has all the rent been paid? Check the bank account. Is everything okay? And you should have a separate bank account for each one of your rentals, hopefully. Maybe if you have time, go and drive by the property. And is anything sketchy going on the outside? Is there maybe a car parked on top of your septic tank? That's a big problem. If you can, maybe once a month, go by and check the inside, do a walkthrough, change the filter on your air conditioner because the tenants probably aren't gonna do it. Then go and check the general state of the place, look for roof leaks in the ceilings. Just do like a quick 15-minute walkthrough of the property inside and outside. You don't have to do this every week, but you should do it every month at first. Get to know your property, get to know your tenant. And also in your weekly check-in, go over your to-do list. Are there any things that you told the tenants that you would address that you have not addressed yet? Go do it. Just go through everything, including management of all your receipts, and have a spreadsheet or have a software like I do. I use Buildium, by the way. It's a great software for managing, anywhere from up to 100 rentals or so. And basically get all of the receipts in there uploaded and everything written down, all the payments, all the late payments, the tenant's information. Get organized and just take, 15 to 30 minutes once per week to do that. Okay, tip number 5 for new investors in residential real estate is learn the law. In Florida, it's called Florida Statutes 83 Part 2. That is the residential tenancy law. So I need to know as a landlord what I am able to do, what the tenant has to do, and make sure that I don't break any laws and that the tenant is actually doing what they have to do by law. So for example, who mows the lawn? Can they have pets? What if a pet shows up? What if there's like an extra vehicle? What happens if? There's a lot of what ifs and you want to know all about it. So take 5 minutes a day and read your tenancy statutes. So now one last thing I'll say is if you are not yet a landlord or not yet an investor, but you want to get into real estate investing, you should still do some of these. You can definitely read about the law. You can start figuring out how are you going to organize your expenses and all your income from it. Are you going to have a separate bank account? You can go set up a second bank account and put in $50 in there just to keep an account open so that you're ready to go. You can do some of this stuff ahead of time, but a lot of this stuff you're going to do when you actually start owning property. So let me finish by saying this. If you are interested in investing in real estate, you probably need to have the best credit score you can so that you can get the lowest interest rates. So watch this video right here. It's going to teach you about how to improve your credit score. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this valuable, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it.